Yep.
All right. I don't know how much of the live video went, but here we go. They're fixing it up. So, look here.
They just got done ordering the track.
So here's the end of the straightaway, right? And track was really getting deteriorated. Now, a lot of people were going this way, but all day today, and didn't matter what I drove, I came around the outside. There was a lot of fluff here. And I just kind of came right in here and turned kind of in the fluff. I take it right to the pipe almost. But that would enable me, I had plenty of traction even in the fluff. So I would kind of come off into that angle. So you want to, and this is like a high speed, like, you could, Samoji landed on the ramp a couple times today.
Yeah, twice.
And then, but you want to hit it towards the inside. And then another time, see that bucket right there? Samoji came flying over here, and somehow the guy was sitting on the bucket looking the other way, and he hit the bucket out from underneath the guy.
No, that's not how it happened. The guy was standing up at the same time.
Did he see it and stand up, and then it hit the bucket, and the bucket went flying from underneath him?
He stood up because he saw me coming, and he's going to grab it real quick, but it took the bucket out first.
So this right here turned out to be, you come off of that jump.
Watch your back.
Yeah. You come off that jump, and you just hammer it. I mean, this is like full tilt across this.
Yeah.
Right? That, I told you that was going to get like a cliff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But anyhow, you just hammer it. And sometimes I was just riding the wall. Like literally my right tires would be scraping against the wall. So now he's just fixing everything. But you'd land it. I was landing it probably by the exhaust sign. It's like just full tilt. But there was a hole right here.
I think that might be the chunk of wood I took out of the wall.
Yeah, took a chunk.
Look, there's another one right there too.
So, yeah, there was a hole, he's fixing that. So again, I rode the outside of the fluff. There's a big hole right there. And my strategy, this has been an issue. Point to that, let's go stand over there.
What's that? What am I showing?
That hole.
Oh, the hole, yeah. There's definitely a hole in here.
So this has been an issue, that hole.
All the way over. To about, yeah.
And this is not far to jump.
And look, there's another one right here.
Pay attention, Robert. Yeah. I don't want you to get hit by that.
There's 1, 2, and then off.
So I started running it on this side of fluff. It's a lot smoother. But I stopped trying to jump it because I would kind of take it wide and then get my momentum. But this turns, and I ended up on this side more than a few times. So instead of risking that anymore, I just single it, land right in this area right here, and then kind of roll that. Come down here. See, there's another little hole. These are the things that you hit and will send you tumbling. So here,
inside or outside?
I was going for the inside, just kind of.
Look at this.
But there's times where I went outside. See, that's the concrete floor there.
Yeah.
And by the end of Mains, that might be a ledge. There's like a cliff. I remember cars 2 years ago were getting stuck up and down. They were going like this, and they couldn't get off the cliff. So my line, if I'm inside, I kind of go right to that. The faster guys, it's a big hole there. The faster guys are taking an inside line, but I am been taking my time and hitting this and just kind of taking it easy because it's imperative for the next 100 feet of track, for the next 3 obstacles, it all starts with this one. So this was my slice to jump. And I was probably able to put the car there 95% of the time today because I used the outside mogul. And I lost some time here, but I gained some time because I did it in practice at the end of the day. If you hit this, what it does is it kicks the back end of your car up and you pretty much land wheels up and skid on your roof. If you're lucky, you land on all fours, but 80% of the time, I would not. So this is the correct, for me at least. I saw some people going this side, it's a little bit more room, but then if you're going this side, there's a line to take through this. You gotta kind of jump over to there. This way, trying to jump straight a couple times. I rushed it and I ended up in between the pipes, but not turned over. I just pulled back on the track, but then I couldn't double this. Because soon as this gets landed right here, you're like turning hard and you're aiming right for there. You see that? But then, like Lance was saying, see that hole? Forget about it. So I was trying to go left of this hole. And 80% of the time I was able to go left. The 20% of the time I couldn't go left and I hit it. Maybe 20% of that time, I had an issue with a crash. But most of the time you could hit it, but if you can't hit it every time, you better find a different way around because you just lose too much time in crashing. So basically you come here and then you're trying to kind of land this somewhere in the center, but that's leading you into the pipe. So you got to kind of get off of it for a second, get the car turned out this way, right? And then just hook a right and punch it. But now, here's another problem. And there he is, there's the guy. Look at that hole. So
definitely don't want to be off of that because that puts you into the wall.
yeah, but so, you know, try to just hug it maybe with 2 tires, you can do it. If you go too far this way, you run the risk of going over the pipe. But this is a pretty massive,
Yeah.
what do you call that, canyon to jump, right?
Huge, and you gotta like set yourself up for that corner at the same time. It's
Rob
crazy.
had a particular tough time with this
at
and
first.
the wall over there.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time in this gully too, where you can't be seen.
So I started rolling it through, and I was getting really good at rolling it through, and I started picking up a little bit, and I was starting able to clear
Here,
it.
stand in those.
Sometimes I'd short it, but I'm still able to pull out of it. So yeah, you can see these are pretty.
So if you land this perfect, you basically want to take off from just around that corner and you want to land it right there. But if you can't, a lot of times what I was doing is I was landing it right in about here and I just make a beeline to the fluff. The fluff is your friend. At least it's my friend. And I know tomorrow I'm going to be using it a lot because it is smooth there.
The funny part is you
And
don't
the
even.
dirt makes it, there's still good traction there.
Yeah. What I'm saying though is when you come up on this, you don't even really know you're jumping something.
Yeah, a lot of
pretty
this
wild.
is big holes, so it really upsets your car. You can't just land and hammer. So
Yeah. Pretty
there's
good.
our new
here
friend,
comes
Dean.
That's the guy that I
We met.
got knocked off the can.
Dean, come here, Dean. Give him your mic.
I'll stay next to him.
All right.
Here he
Dean.
comes again.
So this is don't get scared, Dean. It's all right. I don't have.
This
an
is the guy
I
that
don't have an RC car in my hand.
this is the guy that Rob knocked the bucket out from under
No,
him.
that's not what happened. But I showed you in slow motion. He got
Hold
up.
on, let's give him the mic
My
and let.
cat-like reflexes allowed me to jump out of the way just in time before he took me out. All because I didn't like his paint job.
He said something about my pink colors of my car. I don't know.
Well, the fact that you were putting zip ties to hold everything together.
That's called stitching.
What was it from your perspective? How did it happen?
It was one of those oh shit moments.
Really?
but I couldn't quite push it out.
Yeah, mine was
He
an oh
took
shit.
my bucket from under me.
Mine was an oh shit moment
He
too.
claims that you were standing when he hit the bucket.
No, he was getting up. He was getting up.
Yes, because
the
I
le-
would otherwise gotten hit.
Where?
Yes.
You know where?
Yes,
Keister.
exactly where he was aiming. He said, "Here, I'm going to stick this up your." It would have been an RC
Dean-
rectal enema.
Dean's a great guy, he really
Yeah,
is.
we
He's
met Dean this
very
trip.
knowledgeable.
I don't know if I met him in the past. I probably have, but I'm so happy that I pit next to Dean because we love a lot of the same things,
Yeah.
and music and guitars. And Dean has got stories. I thought I had stories. Dean's got some stories, and Dean. Tell them about your product, because if anybody knows me, they know that the running joke with me is I don't touch my car.
True.
But Dean sells a product that he showed me when he first said, "I'll show you how to set your car up real quick and this and that." And I was kind of like, "Oh, okay, but you know, that sounds hard and there's lasers involved." So he says, "Do it, the changes you're gonna make, and then I'll show you." And when he showed me, it was simple enough for an idiot like me. And all you guys up in the Northeast, maybe I'll be Dean's rep or whatever, but when you get a load of what I bring to the track,
Yeah.
say, Chuck, that big heavy board and the 93
It's
pieces.
a game changer.
So talk about it.
Okay, so I'm like everybody else. I've raced forever, and the thing was, I've had all the standard systems where you put the little swing with together, and then you gotta put all these pieces together in this suitcase that you carry around, and do the setup, and then put it all together. And the one thing I always got aggravated with is I'd have to use a magnifying glass to look at the little frickin' lines so I could get it right. And that always bothered me, because I know this much. As traction comes up and speeds come up, it's more important to have the actual camber and your toe correct, get the car to go smoothly around a turn or out of a turn. So my thing was, I never liked carrying the suitcase around, right? Or it also took up a lot of room, and that always aggravated me. So one day I happened to be getting my actual car aligned, and I'm watching the guy, and he's using this laser system he connects to the wheel and then shoots it against this board, and the computer tells him, "Oh, move it, this many degrees," and he'd simply make these little adjustments and then go to the other side, make the adjustments, and he gets paid an outrageous amount. And I was like, well, I wonder if I could make this. And I made several iterations of it, and then I kept saying, well, it's too complex. Because I was a quality manager for my career, and I'm an engineer. And I said, well, it's just too complex, too many moving parts, too many problems. And if you know anything about manufacturing, there's manufacturing tolerances, which in metric is always 0.3 of a millimeter plus or minus. So that means every part you connect together can be 0.3 of a millimeter. Therefore,
Here, put these on. It'll make you sound smarter. You push them up like this. No, go ahead. Keep going.
so anyway, the thing is that basically, if you've got 3 parts, that's 1 millimeter difference from side to side. Well, in that short distance, that's a lot, because at 1 millimeter is 1/4 of a millimeter in degrees on a basically 300 millimeter difference. But we're talking about less than 70 millimeters. Well, that is huge then. So my thing is how could I make this? I made several versions of it, and finally I came down to the Lazarus, which is what I ended up making. At first I made it in 10 scale, because that's what we were racing a lot of down here. And I made a 10 scale version where it uses a target and a laser connected to 2 aluminum uprights that self-locate, and reduced it down to no more than 3 parts. The part that connects to the hub, the laser, and the target. And you use the same laser and target. And the next thing is of course, how do you make it to where it's usable and you don't have to, constantly buy batteries? Well, had to design a PC board that was rechargeable, and then had to have somebody make a little 6-volt LiPo battery that was small enough. And my whole target is I wanted to make this no more than about, the comparable size of like a USB stick. That I wanted all of the parts to fit together and be no bigger than my iCharger, so it fit in my bag. And originally I made the first one for myself. People saw it, that they said, well, would you make one for me? So then I started producing these, and that's how this came about. And then of course, the next thing was, well, what about for 8 scale? Well, then I made a version for 8 scale. So now there is basically 3 kits that are out there that get sold. There is a 10 scale, which will do 10 scale on-road and off-road. Anything that uses a 4mm axle. Will not do trucks, because trucks have no standard width. And the other thing I found is that trucks also, they don't have standard axles. Like Techno uses a completely different axle, so it doesn't fit. And of course, all the vintage stuff, it won't fit because we never used 4mm axles.
Yeah.
Then from there, the next one was the 8 scale. The 8 scale mounts under the car, so it holds it upright. You put it on there. And currently, what's on the market is it does buggies and on-road cars. And then I know some people have actually used it for these speed run cars that they make. Out of 8 scale parts. So any of them that use that 8 scale standard axle system, it'll fit right on there. Bolts right up, it's solid, shoots. The laser is calibrated after it's all put together, so it shoots perfectly to center every time. And you can throw it around. One of the big questions has always been, why didn't I make a metal case? Well, I can tell you I did make a metal case at first. But then I found out that even with the insulator that was in there, the board was actually wearing through that and then was short out. Well, we know what happens when you short out a LiPo battery. Well, even a 6-volt one is pretty good fire. So the next ones were carbon fiber. Well, carbon fiber happens to be conductive too, duh. So I ended up settling on plastic, which could be reproduced, was non-electrical, and it doesn't short out, and I don't have to worry about it, and it's all solid mounted. So
where can anybody that's interested find this product?
Beach RC distributes all of them. So there are 3 versions. There is the Lazarus. When you order it, that is 10 scale only. Then Lazarus 8, which is for 8 scale only, and then the Lazarus Plus has both the 10th and 8 scale kit. So
BeachRC.com,
yep,
you can get it there.
Yep, just type in Lazarus, it'll bring up the 3 kits, and then you can order either, any of them. I'm happy when you order them.
Laseris, correct?
Yes, it's actually Latin for laser. Yeah.
Well, I thought something that was pretty crazy. If anybody knows me, for many years now, I'll run a lot of tow out, but like I'll have one tire that's straight and the other one's jacked way up, or one's slightly out and the other one's way out. And
Dennis had this interesting setup.
It works, don't touch it.
It was, I don't know if he came out and he counted how many left-hand turns there were, so he wanted to make those faster than the right hand. But clearly he had more steering one direction than he did the other.
What I have, 77. I had my controller set up left, 77.
Yeah.
So he tells me, the first thing he tells me is, zero that. So I'm like, as I'm zeroing it, the wheels are going. Because I'm always driving down the straightaway, slightly turning the wheel to get the car to, if I let go of the wheel, the car is going, I've never got it right. Never got it right.
Oh no, he had it right. That was exactly what it was designed to do.
Right, yeah.
It was perfect. Exactly what he made it do. It would work. The neat thing about this is, and this is how you know it actually works, you can set the car up on the bench, throw it on the track, and it will go straight every time.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it's the only one that will do half a degree. and you don't realize how much half a degree makes a difference. It can make the difference if you say you're trying to add that traction to the rear, but you're not trying to over exaggerate, a push. You can take a half a degree of toe out of the car and get that more equal feel. Same thing goes with camber, And the other thing is, most people don't realize, because of catheter in the front, when you start adjusting your camber, it goes at an angle. It affects your toe. And the same thing with toe. When you adjust toe, if you're not looking at your camber at the same time, you've adjusted camber. So then this one shows that.
It's very simple. By watching a laser and cranking on the turnbuckle, you could see the laser from the one wheel hub to the other, basically pointing on a grid of dots. But there's a grid of dots. So when it's correct, the laser hits the dot and it lights up bright red. So if you're not on a dot or you're in between the dots, it's dull. So you know the dot you're going for, like -2 degrees, -2 degrees, I think is what I was going for.
Yep.
And when we hit them, boom, and one was so far out that you had to switch it and do it again. Like, you had to reset because it was...
And that's the thing. I mean, it's just like on a real car. If you're more than 2 degrees out, so let's say you wanted to be 2 and 2, 2 degrees camber, 2 degrees toe out, and you've got one wheel that's 4 by 2. Well, you're going to have to do them twice because there's a compound angle there, and you can't overcome that.
Do you wear glasses?
Yes.
You should put them on when you start talking
Really?
this stuff, and then go like this.
I'll tell you what. I'll put tape around the middle. Well,
You'll sell way more with the tape around the middle of the glasses. But you're selling these in Europe, correct? You got
they've
them all
been
over.
sold to Europe. The big driver that's using it right now is Maddie Long. She loves it. They adopted using it about 6 months ago. And, of course, once again, her father, who does all of her pitting for her, he talked to me again today. It's telling me, well, we use it now all the time because it works.
Yeah.
And it's simple.
And that was the whole thing. And you talk about nerd. All right, so there's a reason. The company name is called Dork Missile Performance. And this is because of my wife, all right? So I used to take my wife down to Snowbirds because I was a big on-road racer. So we go down to Snowbirds every year, and that's a week long. And we go down there, spend the week, go down there, do the racing, and she would tell everybody, we're going to Nerd Week. Right? Because she couldn't understand, why would people stay up 24 hours a day to race these little cars, right? So she kept saying that. So when I started the company, I was like, well, I wasn't going to call it Nerd, right? So I called it Dork Missile. And so that was the actual logo. And you'll see it listed as DM Performance. So, and if anybody knows, there's an old military term. Dork Missile was actually a rocket-propelled grenade. They were Dork Missileers. Yeah. And that's where I got that from.
That's interesting to know. Very interesting. All right. Well, we appreciate your time.
Well, hopefully you're going to get a lot of sales now, but like when I bring this back up north, I never saw it, and I know I'm probably going to have a call to you like, Dean, so from the left to right, but there's a ledger inside of the case, but it might have been the easiest sale of his life.
Yeah.
I don't know. But and it was affordably priced, so it's worth every penny to be able to set your car up perfectly without all the mumbo jumbo and a suitcase full of stuff and this and that. And what's truer than a laser?
Yeah.
What's straighter than a laser? I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can't bend a laser.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that was the whole thing. And then the other thing is one of the things I wanted to make is that I wanted everything attached so solid that I could drop it and it would still stay calibrated. And basically, you can throw the thing around. Unless you actually hit the lens, which is implanted back up in it by about 3 millimeters, you really can't change anything.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it uses an LED rather than a light bulb. That way it doesn't generate as much heat. The other thing is they're guaranteed 15,000 hours. LEDs. I mean, you couldn't ask for
Nice.
better.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And there's actually a funny story. When I was designing it, originally I wanted a green laser, but not knowing a lot about lasers in the past, I ordered green lasers and not paying attention to the wattage, not thinking, oh, well, it'd just be brighter.
Yeah.
No, actually, when I got the first one and I got it all hooked up, it cut through the target.
Wow.
A green laser is for cutting, right? A red laser is for pointing.
Optical. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was hilarious things happened in the design of this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I had one that was battery operated. Well, it would eat a watch battery in about 2 minutes. And the nice thing about this, the way that board's set up, it will actually run for about 16 hours on a charge. And it was designed, you plug it into a standard USB. One of the things we have found out is do not use anything that charges Apple products. They have a completely different standard for charging. And it will actually, because the circuitry was not set up for it, it was designed based on standard USB, it will actually destroy it in a very, it takes about 2 months, but it destroys them.
Yeah.
Just any, yeah, just any standard USB, you can plug it in into your car, into most power supplies, backs of chargers, or buy one of the little blocks for like a Samsung phone, you know.
How long does it take to charge?
The first time you'll get it, it's in a discharge state because that's how they have to be shipped by federal law through the mail.
Yeah.
And it will take about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
After you've done that, usually what happens is it takes about 45 minutes to recharge.
Yeah.
What I do is and this is the safe bet, because it'll run 16 hours normally.
Yeah.
What I do is the beginning of the day, when I set my charger up, I set it in there. It's got circuitry in there. It's going to show you it's charging. There's a little red dot shows up on the front, and it changes to green when it's done charging. And just stick it in there, let it charge, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the whole idea.
So
Make it so it works.
Hey,
good.
they
Yeah.
can always insult.
You know.
Constantly insult.
Well, Dean, we want to thank you very much for being on this.
My leg is asleep.
Yeah, yeah. Dennis is getting antsy. You can see him. dancing
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
But, I appreciate your time, sir.
Oh, no, thank
really
you.
Do, really do.
Really enjoyed it,
Dean,
guys.
thanks. We'll definitely. I'll be calling you. I got your number, and I'm looking forward to racing with you because really great conversations. Like not just about racing, but a lot of different stuff. He's got a lot. You should write a book. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Listen. Oh, you're gonna tell me you did?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, I've got knowledge on how to set up a car, but I will tell you there are a bunch of really good books out there.
Yeah.
You know, I've even bought some of them because, you know what, writing another one about that same thing.
No, you got a lot of
it's
stuff to
already
write
there.
about other than cars.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
one of the funny things that you said, you know, I think I've met you before, and the first thing I'm flashing back is, oh my God, has he been to prison? Because I used to be over the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So the first thought is that, have I run into an inmate that I don't remember?
That's
All right.
funny.
Well, good luck tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. I'm sure we'll have a good time tomorrow too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis has got to finish his track walk down the straightaway here, and
Yep. Have me show you all the runs.
Yeah.
we did. That's what we're going through. We did. We're almost done, and then we ran into you.
Dean, thank you. Thank you, Dean.
Again.
Yeah.
And we're gonna run right back into you out there too.
All right,
Dean. Take care. Go ahead, Dennis. Go
Great
for it.
guy.
Yes.
The funniest part of the whole interview was at the end when he said, I wonder if I ran into somebody.
I know. I saw it.
So, look at these, colossal. So here, I try to go here because it's just too much time to lose here. But the safe bet is here. I did that a couple times. There's a huge hole right here and an even bigger hole there. From the driver's stand, when you hit that hole, you lose almost your whole car. Look at this hole.
That's why when I roll it, I go to the outside.
Now they're gonna fix this stuff tonight. So for the beginning races, it's gonna be nice, right? See that?
That's crazy.
It's a big right here. There's a big, so
This knows that ledge.
I think I was trying to run this right here. I was trying to run the outside.
Yeah, I got you.
I wasn't trying to go here. That's the floor. I was trying to run the outside here,
Yeah, there we are. That's the floor there.
and you either go here, which is the better bet, but if you can't get the car there, I was just trying to, because here, you just, every time you hit this, you just scoop the dirt out. You see dirt flying from the front of your car. Half your car is missing right there. So, you know, I felt like I could get on it and stay on it here. But, because if you go on the inside, you got a hole here. Got 2 holes right here. And, you know, that's just before where the, where you're going to head onto the straightaway. So when you hit this turn,
Towards your
all you're
car.
thinking is speed. You're thinking,
Yeah.
I'm about to get fast. And you want to get to that corner so you can hammer it. But this will throw you around like nobody's business. Right here, there's a dip there. So I've been just trying to kind of, if I come out of that inside, I just try to stay here, and I've been going wide. Yes, I do. Awesome. I'll be back there in 10 minutes.
No, tomorrow.
Okay. All right. The greens are $219, but I'm going to give you 20% off. I said 15, I'll give you 20. All right? Not bad. We're doing our track walk. Good to see you.
See how he did that?
Yeah. Yep.
He's progressive.
These are LCRC racers here. Well, are you guys from down here?
Virginia.
You go to all the LCRC
Well, say,
stuff, right?
introduce who you guys are so they all know. Go ahead.
Bradley Lingerman.
Here, hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just got here. I'm Bradley Lingerman.
I'm Garrett McCutcheon.
I'm Garrett's mechanic.
Yeah, Garrett, I heard his name.
I'm his secret speed.
I heard your name all day.
Yeah.
So, and I saw you got drafted last night too.
Yeah, I got drafted twice. I got in.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, I got drafted in Camden Lime's team for Nitro Buggy. I got
Nice.
drafted in Ryan Rand's team for Electric Buggy. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, a lot of people ask me like what my secret is, and
Your secret's that.
I'm the
Point
secret.
over
yeah,
there.
he's one of them. But also the Truth Motorsport stickers. They give me an extra
Oh yeah,
10.
that big hat. I see you guys wearing that big hat over at LCRC.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that is the leader of that team Thomas Kaufman?
No.
No?
Tiny Folsom.
Oh,
Brian,
Is he with you too?
You're talking about
that big hat.
Ah,
Oh, you
what's your name, bud?
Promotion.
promotion.
Oh, is that
Timmy Lever. All right.
promotion is?
No, I don't run for promotion.
No, but Tiny Folsom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has,
Yeah,
Got
he
the-
just bought some nitro caddies.
Yeah. Well, you got the power of prayer right behind you, so
We're
there
over,
you go.
we're over 30.
All right.
Thanks, guys. We'll
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, buddy.
Good luck, guys. You racing too?
Yeah.
Good, good. Good luck tomorrow, guys.
Thank you.
Have fun. Get you on the pit road somewhere.
So, so all day today, I've been coming out wide, and see those holes? There's holes right there. I try to go between the holes and pit lane, but you lose your car for a little bit. So I cheated as much as I can. Sometimes I'll come that side, but ultimately, in the end, I end up on the outside. And pit lane is
Very narrow.
where Samoji lives.
Very narrow.
Yep, Samoji's been doing pretty good. He forgets some things from time to time.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Shut it good. So, got TVs. Now, Samoji doesn't seem to understand. Okay, he's giving me, he's going like this to me.
Oh,
All right.
the stream ended.
Did you stop the video?
Oh, I'm just kidding.
But I like this area, right around the center, left center. And so we got a real dilemma tomorrow. And the dilemma for Sunday, we were having dinner tonight around 6 o'clock at the Mexican restaurant that's down the street. And that Mexican restaurant is phenomenal.
Yes, very good.
Phenomenal.
And not expensive either.
No, and it was so good. I wanted to eat everything, but I didn't. We both saved some food for later on tonight.
Good portions.
So, but we were thinking, so we've been racing LCRC coming clockwise. So when you pick the car up, the fuel tank is right there. But now we're going to be coming the opposite way. So Rob thinks he's going to go like this.
Turn it.
No, but you were thinking just like that and then fuel it.
Right, but I was originally thinking turning it, and you said it's not
Yeah.
a good idea.
Well, he
Because-
was going to turn it so the tail end was sticking out into the pit lane. But Lance just was talking about it's a two-person job, really. Like, so the catcher, the guy that catches the car, will just catch it and go like this. And the fueler will be on this side where the fuel tank is. He'll just, and then the catcher will just go like this, throw it like that. So if you're by yourself, we still haven't kind of figured that out. We're gonna get the car on pit lane tonight, and we're gonna mess around with it a
Figure
bit. I was
something
gonna, so, because if you go like this, you're still over the car. You gotta catch it. I think our friend Will said just catch it, go like this, and
Like
fuel
normal,
it.
and just
put
cross over.
everything, the fuel gun on
Backwards.
the other hand.
Right.
But I think you're going to be reaching across the top. If you miss,
Yeah.
like
I won't miss.
we got a 7.5 minute pit strategy.
Yeah.
And after racing at 5:30 today, they opened the track for an hour. And I never run the track. But I was like, first off, I had electrical issues with my receiver was shot, and it cost me my last two qualifiers today. I still got the A's, but I had to figure all that out, and I wanted to make sure because I thought it was a switch. I direct wired right into
That
the
was
battery.
Yeah.
So, and it still didn't work. It screwed
the
me up.
battery was 72%, so we knew it wasn't the battery.
So it turns out that the whole receiver, the whole back was missing. And it wasn't in the receiver box either, so I must have put it in that condition.
Must
So
have.
so I wanted to check that it was good, and we did. I ran 3 laps. I'm like, it's good. We're done. And then we went back to the pits, and I'm like, it's a 30-minute race. That's 7.5 minutes. Let's check that we can get 7.5 minutes. So we got 8.5 minutes, and
We'll be all right.
and so I think we'll be all right. But I mean, I did crash a couple times, and it was sparse with marshals, so the car was just like idling upside down, probably for a total of maybe, I mean, I was revving it, but maybe 45 seconds. But I think I can get the necessary time because we're going to come in at 7.5 minutes.
So,
Blah blah blah.
end of pit road, coming down pit road here, and it's a nice little dump, and you got to follow out the narrow lane, and which is nice. It puts you out wide a little bit, so if you want to stay wide or go in, it gives you plenty of room. So
Yeah, we did the track walk, but it's a completely different track. And
yeah, absolutely.
what's going to happen is like the first couple races tomorrow, all those holes are going to be gone.
Yeah.
But we know, and I know, that those holes are going to be back for like the last main that I run. Like I'm going to run 2 mains pretty quickly within the first 10 races. And then, how you
Oh,
doing?
there's the golden doodle again.
So let's go to the pit area and we'll just,
Well, let's finish this. So you want to finish it up here?
we'll finish at the pit area. Oh, let's see the nitro caddies. Look here. That's where my drink went.
Yeah.
So we got these new colors, nitro caddy colors. Look at those colors in the light.
Pretty sharp.
That's fluorescent red. And we got the pink for the Allen Placers. Nah, just kidding. We got fluorescent yellow, we got fluorescent blue,
Yeah.
and we got green, a nice bright green. Those colors are $219 plus shipping, $21, so probably $240 altogether. But then black and white is $179 plus shipping, 21. And then we got like yellow, orange, some like less bright stuff. That's $219. So with that being said, hit us up, nitrocaddy.com, and yeah.
15%.
What?
You still doing that deal?
Yeah, we're still doing 15% off. Nitro 25. Put it in the code, and look for some updated pictures of these colors and stuff, and what they really, look like on the website.
Look for Dennis tomorrow holding one on Victory Lane.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get one of these. I got one thing coming. I know I'll be able to get on. So.
We'll take you back, see where we pit, and then we'll probably likely sign off. What's up, guys, gentlemen? How you doing?
Gentlemen, use that term loosely.
Hard at work. Last time I saw you were sleeping on your table, or I think it was you. One of you two. Was it you sleeping on the table? Maybe it was you. Yeah. It's all good. You got to get your sleeps in somehow. Oh, there's Dennis all the way ahead up there.
You got to get Corey Humphreys down here.
Okay.
Because
yeah, we're gonna get Dennis.
I think this is the first event that Corey hasn't yelled at me.
And with. But I think Dennis had his number pretty much all weekend. So hopefully they're safe for tomorrow. So we'll go.
This is the first event that Corey hasn't yelled at me. He's yelling at everybody else
Oh,
but
look,
me
it's
this
Dean
event.
again. Look, we're back to see Dean.
Say about that.
I have nothing to say.
I think he's scared of the pro on your team. That's what I think it is.
What pro?
The pro.
What pro?
The
You?
guy that signed up for pro.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, last place pro, huh?
Hey, last year pro still counts, baby. Well, there's only 5 of us. It's
Fucking-
trophy hunting.
Fucking participation trophies.
Exactly. Looks like your barber got a participation trophy.
Corey, introduce yourself. Tell them where you're from.
Oh, no,
These-
we're not introducing
These
Nah,
guys
you
are
just-
definitely.
Yeah, we do.
Dude.
For the
Listen.
people that don't know you, man, you're a good guy. You know it. Come
Here.
on.
Hold that.
I gotta take this
I'll
damn
hold
motor
it
out
for you.
because Quincy
Listen.
can't solder.
I have to say that these guys are definitely south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yep.
Yeah, because y'all damn Yankees don't know where you're at.
Also, I know you got good food around here. That's all I know.
Yeah, well, you ate at a Mexican restaurant. You'll be shitting fire in a little bit. Especially that fucking whatever the hell you had. It was-
Oh, that was damn
It
good.
was good, yeah.
It was damn good. But listen, these are our next door neighbors.
This is
And,
Quinn over here.
And Quincy is probably doubles as an auctioneer or something, because he.
That's Hank Hill Jr. He said propane accessories.
That's exactly what it is. Name's Quincy Atkins. I come from my father's ball sack.
There's little kids that watch this.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
South Carolina, whichever.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, just want to say hello and good luck tomorrow.
Hey, thank y'all very much.
Yep.
Thanks for being some quality entertainment.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Hopefully, we're in the screen.
We got all this work to
Yeah,
do
we got
now.
some
It's
work to
getting
do.
dark.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
All right.
We'll check up with you hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. And we got a long drive home, so we'll probably
Yeah.
do a recap in the car.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Guys are probably sick of us by now.
Yeah.
They probably stopped watching 53
Probably.
minutes ago.
I know, right?
As soon as Dean started talking millimeters, and all of a sudden all the viewership started dropping. No, it was pretty interesting stuff.
All right. Well, before I sign off, I just want to say hi to my family. These guys are watching. I appreciate these guys. And,
Oh yeah, Elena too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, honey.
All right. Have a good night. Take care.
All right.
All right. See you.